What if I told you most cars barely survive 140,000 miles, but mine just rolled past 465,000 on the original engine and transmission? Not luck, not expensive parts. Just 12 maintenance moves are so rare that most mechanics don't even mention them because they kill repeat business. Today, I'm exposing every single one, habits that keep engines alive 3 times longer than normal. And, whatever you do, pay attention to number 4. That one prevents oil destruction most drivers never see coming until rebuild time. Let's break it down. Trick number 12, the pump click rule. You're topping off your tank. Pump clicks. But you squeeze in a little more to round up the number. Seems harmless. That extra fuel floods straight into your EVP canister, a charcoal filter designed to trap vapors, not liquid gas. Once gasoline soaks those pellets, they crumble and send debris through your entire emission system. What follows? Rough starts. Check engine lights, fuel smell inside the cabin, and repair bills hitting $600 to $1,500 for canister, purge valve, and vent solenoid replacement. EPA testing shows overfilling is the #1 cause of EVAP failures, especially in hot states where fuel expands fast in the tank. And warranty won't touch it because topping off counts as driver error. The move, first click, you're done. Every single time. This one habit alone protects your emission system from expensive, completely avoidable damage. The next one catches a hidden stress point tearing through your drivetrain right now. Trick number 11, the engine mount test. If your engine rattles the cabin every time you shift, your motor mounts are shot. Worn mounts don't just vibrate, they create a domino effect that rips through everything connected to your drivetrain. Cracked exhaust pipes, stretched hoses, transmission misalignment, damaged axles. Repair networks report bad mounts contribute to nearly 20% of early drivetrain stress failures. Here's the 30-second test. Start your car, foot on brake. Shift from park into drive and watch the engine bay. If the engine lurches hard forward, if your steering wheel shakes violently, or if the whole car bucks, those mounts are done. Test it again in reverse. Excessive movement either direction means replacement time. A worn mount costs $140 early. Ignore it, and you're facing $900 to $1,600 in collateral damage when brackets crack, hoses tear, and your transmission gets knocked out of alignment. Catch it early, stop the spread. The next move fixes a morning ritual damaging your engine every cold start. Trick number 10, the 30-second rule. Most drivers let their car idle for 5, even 10 minutes on cold mornings, thinking they're protecting the engine. That old habit actually destroys it faster. Long idling washes raw fuel down cylinder walls and dilutes your oil. The colder it is, the worse this gets. Department of Energy studies show extended cold idling increases engine wear by over 60% compared to driving gently after a brief warm-up. Modern engines warm up under load, not sitting still. They're designed for it. The smarter routine? Start your car, wait 30 seconds, then drive easy for the first mile or two. Testing proves engines reach operating temperature 40% faster when driving versus idling. That means less friction, cleaner combustion, better fuel economy, and longer engine life. Drop the 10-minute idle. Start the 30-second warm-up. This shift alone protects bearings and rings from cold start damage while cutting wasted fuel in half. Next habit protects something you use every time you park. Trick number 9, the handbrake sequence. Most drivers throw the shifter into park and walk away. Normal routine. But that habit slowly destroys your parking pole, a small metal hook inside your transmission that locks the wheels. When you park on any slope without engaging the handbrake first, your vehicle's entire weight crushes that pole. Over time, it wears, cracks, and eventually snaps. Replacement costs $1,100 to $1,900 because shops have to tear apart the transmission to reach it. The sequence that prevents this? Set your handbrake first. Let the car settle onto brake shoes. Then shift into park. This transfers weight onto your braking system where it belongs, not onto a tiny transmission component never designed to hold thousands of pounds alone. Transmission specialists say this habit cuts power wear by 70%, especially on heavier SUVs and trucks. 3-second routine. Thousands saved. Your transmission lasts well past 250,000 miles because you stopped punishing a part meant only to prevent rolling, not support weight. Next move protects your fuel pump from heat death. Trick number 8, the quarter tank rule. Running your tank near empty might stretch a fill-up, but it's cooking your fuel pump alive every single time. Fuel pumps use gasoline for cooling. Drop below a quarter tank and the pump loses that cooling bath. It starts running hot. Industry teardown studies show pumps exposed to repeated low fuel conditions run up to 40 degrees hotter and fail 30% faster than pumps kept submerged. Worse, sediment sits at the bottom of every tank. Run low and your pump sucks up that debris, clogs injectors, and chokes performance. Keeping your tank above 1/4 prevents all that damage, stabilizes pump temperature, blocks sediment pickup, eliminates fuel starvation on hills and sharp turns. This habit costs nothing but protects a component that runs $700 to $1,500 to replace with labor included. Follow this rule and your fuel system stays healthy into the high hundreds of thousands. But the next habit saves something most people ignore until their car won't start. Trick number 7. The connection. Cleanup. Your entire electrical system runs through a handful of battery terminals and ground cables. When they corrode, everything goes haywire. Slow cranking, flickering dash lights, random sensor codes, transmission shift issues. Most drivers assume they need new alternators, batteries, or ECU modules. They spend $300, $500, or even $900 replacing parts that were never broken. ASE-certified techs report nearly 30% of electrical complaints trace back to corroded connections, not failed components. A $10 wire brush fixes it. The routine takes 5 minutes every oil change. Pop the hood, check battery terminals for white or green crust, inspect ground straps bolted to engine block and chassis for corrosion or loose bolts. Scrub them clean with a wire brush. Tighten snug. Coat terminals with dielectric grease. Clean connections, stabilize voltage, extend alternator and starter life, and prevent cold weather starting failures before they strand you in a parking lot. Strong electrical foundation saves $500 to $1,200 in unnecessary replacements. Next move resets a computer most drivers don't know exists. Trick number 6, the throttle relearn. Your throttle body controls engine airflow, but over time, the computer storing its data gets confused. After years of city driving, battery changes, or jump starts, that adaptive memory corrupts. You feel it immediately. Sluggish throttle, unstable idle, rev hang when lifting off the gas, hesitation during merging. Most drivers think the throttle body failed. Shops quote $350 to $550 for replacement. But the hardware's fine, the software's just confused. The reset takes 90 seconds. Turn key to on position without starting. Press gas pedal fully down and hold for 10 seconds. Turn key off. Release pedal, wait 10 seconds. Start engine and let it idle untouched for 3 minutes. Works on Toyota, Nissan, Ford, Honda, most modern brands. Fresh adaptive memory restores crisp throttle response and smooth idle without replacing a single part. Zero cost, instant improvement. But if performance still lags, the next habit attacks worn brakes from a completely different angle. Trick number 5, lift early, brake late. Most drivers cruise straight into stoplights and hammer the brakes last second. That habit cooks rotors and pads faster than actual mileage. Every hard stop spikes rotor temperatures past 500 degrees. At those temps, metal warps, glazes, and cracks. Consumer Reports testing found drivers who brake late replace pads 40% sooner and rotors twice as often as those who ease off earlier. The technique? Lift your foot 5 to 10 seconds earlier when approaching stops, curves, or downhill grades. Let engine braking slow the car naturally while keeping brake temps stable. Hybrids like the Prius and Insight already use this through regenerative braking. That's why their pads often last 140,000 miles or longer without replacement. Try it tomorrow. Lift early. Your car settles smoothly instead of diving forward, and brake components stay cooler under your foot. This habit alone extends brake life by years and saves $450 to $900 in premature replacements. Smooth stops protect your wallet, but what's next protects your engine from oil destruction nobody talks about. Trick number 4. The PCV valve check. Most drivers never touch their PCV valve, don't even know where it is. But when it clogs, your engine starts eating itself from the inside. The positive crankcase ventilation valve releases pressure and recirculates blow-by gases back through your intake. When it sticks closed, pressure builds in the crankcase, forcing oil past seals and gaskets. You start burning oil, leaking oil. Building sludge faster than fresh changes can fix. Worse, a stuck PCV creates rough, idle, poor fuel economy and accelerated valve cover gasket failure. That repair alone runs $400 to $800. Check your PCV every 30,000 miles. Pull it out, shake it. If it doesn't rattle, it's clogged. Replace it. Most cost under $20. This 5-minute check prevents oil consumption, reduces sludge formation, and protects gaskets from pressure damage that leads to expensive leaks. Fresh PCV equals stable crankcase pressure and clean internal oil flow for hundreds of thousands of miles. Next move protects a system most people forget exists until it fails catastrophically. Trick number 3. The differential fluid swap. Most drivers never think about their differential until it starts whining, grinding, or seizing completely. By then, repair costs hit $1,800 to $3,200. Your differential transfers power to the wheels through gears submerged in gear oil. That oil breaks down from heat, pressure, and metal particles over time. Manufacturers often call it lifetime fluid, but real-world mechanics see differentials fail between 80,000 and 120,000 miles when fluid never gets changed. Rear-wheel and all-wheel drive vehicles suffer most. Towing, highway driving, and hot climates cook that fluid faster than normal commuting. The move? Change differential fluid every 40,000 to 60,000 miles. Costs $90 to $160 at most shops. Takes 30 minutes. Fresh fluid keeps gears meshing smoothly, reduces heat buildup, and prevents the grinding metal-on-metal contact that destroys differentials completely. This maintenance item gets skipped more than any other, yet it protects one of the most expensive drivetrain components in your entire vehicle. Ignore it, and you're gambling with thousands. Service it, and your differential lasts the life of the car. Next habit connects two systems nobody realizes affect each other. Trick number 2, the cabin filter connection. Your cabin air filter seems unrelated to engine performance, but when it clogs, it creates a chain reaction that kills your AC compressor, one of the most expensive failures in your car. Clogged cabin filters restrict airflow across the evaporator core. That forces your blower motor to work harder, pulling more amps. Eventually, the blower overheats and burns out. But before it dies, reduced airflow causes the evaporator to freeze, sending liquid refrigerant back to the compressor instead of vapor. Compressors are designed to compress gas, not liquid. When liquid refrigerant floods in, internal valves crack and the compressor seizes. Replacement runs from $1,100 to $1,800 with labor and refrigerant recharge. Replace your cabin filter every 15,000 miles. Costs $12 to $30. Takes 5 minutes. This cheap filter protects your blower motor, prevents evaporator icing, and keeps your compressor pumping vapor like it's designed to. One overlooked filter causes a $1,000 failure that most drivers never connect. The final habit reveals electrical problems before they strand you. Trick number 1, the voltage drop test. Most drivers wait until their car won't start to check the battery. By then, you're stranded, calling a tow truck and paying for emergency service. But batteries, alternators, and starters all give warning signs weeks before total failure. You just need to test for them. The voltage drop test takes 60 seconds. Grab a cheap multimeter from any auto parts store. With the engine off, check battery voltage. Should read 12.4 to 12.7 volts. Anything below 12.2 means your battery's dying. Now start the engine. Voltage should jump to 13.7 to 14.7 volts. If it stays below 13.5, your alternator's weak. If it climbs above 15, your voltage regulator's failing and cooking your battery. This simple test predicts electrical failures before they happen. Replace weak batteries for $80 instead of emergency towing and jump starts. Catch failing alternators before they strand you on the highway at night. 1 minute of testing prevents hours of frustration and hundreds of dollars in emergency repairs. Now, let's wrap this up. 12 rare habits that separate dead engines from half-million-mile survivors. If even one of these saves you from a rebuild, transmission replacement, or $1,000 repair, hit like and subscribe. Drop a comment. Tell me your current mileage and which trick you're starting tomorrow. Most mechanics won't share this stuff because it kills their business, but you deserve to know what actually keeps cars alive. Keep your car running strong.